The Philippines says it's looking to buy intermediate-range missile launchers from the United States to boost its defense against Chinese aggression in the region. In an interview with the Financial Times, the country's Defense Secretary Gilberto Teodoro confirmed that the ministry was looking to acquire the Typhon launcher system after the U.S. brought it for drills in April. The launchers could be deployed in the northern part of the country, which would give the Philippines the ability to intercept and hit targets beyond 450 kilometers. If more advanced U.S. missiles are used, this could boost the range to over 1,600 kilometers, making them able to reach targets in China. And to learn more about what the new missile launchers mean for security in the region, Jaime Ocon spoke to Aaron Matthew Lariosa, a security analyst based in Washington, D.C.
Aaron, I want to first start off with this Typhoon missile launcher. Why is this system significant for security in the region?
There was a lot of speculation last year to see where it will get deployed first. People were thinking Japan, maybe somewhere on Guam, perhaps Okinawa, and it ended up being the Philippines. And the Philippines is a very significant deployment. And what the system actually brings to the archipelago. They stationed essentially a ground-based naval launcher that could fire Tomahawk cruise missiles that could reach the Chinese mainland and anything within the South China Sea. It's a very capable system, and it sends a really strong message. Strong enough that China has made noise. Let's just say complaints about the system being based in the Philippines since the deployment in April.
And what are you hearing from military officials in the Philippines? Is this part of a shift, or is there a clear consensus that this is kind of the way to go to manage this rise of Chinese aggression in the region?
Whenever we try to talk with the Army, obviously, how the Services Act, they kind of just say this isn't meant to deter anybody, or it's not meant to it's not specifically against China. That's what they always say. The deployment area, of course, very significant because it faces both the Luzon Strait, which right crosses Taiwan, and as you bring up rightfully so, the Baji Channel, very strategic piece of water, big, very major transiting point between the first and second island chains. And then if we look westwards, that's the South China Sea where everything's been happening. So the deployment here kind of gives off both of those signals. It basically says, China, we could threaten stuff in the South China Sea, and we could also lock down this crucial piece of maritime geography.
And what are the implications for Taiwan? This system is positioned at the tippy top near Taiwan, in that waterway between Taiwan and the Philippines. Does this bring anything to security for Taiwan?
So, very complicated question in terms of how we get there, how we get to the use for a Taiwan contingency operation. But let's say, let's take liberty and say Manila allows use of its territory in the event of that. You essentially have a launcher that could lob cruise missiles within a pretty large landmass just south of the main landing port, which is Kaohsiung, right? So this thing could affect a lot. The Americans basically get a cruise missile launcher base anywhere in northern Luzon, which is a big place. So those ramifications are pretty big for any Chinese force planners that want to do anything with Taiwan.